Okay, so this is a video of all the important factors that I believe are needed to make this winter a winter that is similar to 2009 or 10. Now, there we go, plug that in. Now, here it is right now. You can remember these past few years, there has just been cold north of this line, right? That I just drew. It has just been cold north of this line, and warm south of that line. No distinctive three-band tripole: cold, warm, warm, cold, warm. Nope, no distinctive three-band tripole. But this year it is obviously different, because look at this region right here. South of Greenland and all around Greenland, it is well above average sea surface temperature wise. Looking south of Greenland, is it well below average? No. Is it slightly below average and cooling? Yes, it is. Now, what I'm looking at, which most people do not look at, is this region right here. This is a very odd thing for me to do, but I'm doing it right now. It is cold in this region, and it is cool over here too, and over there. Since it is cool in this region, that is signaling that that west of that region is also cooling, which there is evidence of that right now. It is cooling. Now you look in this region too, it is cooling, and it is accumulating cooler waters in the central Atlantic. I know I've said this many times, and I will say it again. My opinion is there will be a tripole a very distinctive tripole, not similar to the one we had not similar to the past winters where we had no tripole. Only two bands of warm and cold waters. Cold and warm waters. Alright, so this region, what I just said is the first important factor that will make this winter a big one for the East Coast. Next, the PDO. Many people are beginning to have their doubts about the PDO being positive, but I'm not in that group. I mean, not many people, just some people are beginning to have their doubts about the PDO being positive. I'm not believing that for a second. Simply, they're believing that because you see this cold water upwelling there, also you have a stripe of cold water underneath of that. I do not believe that this area will just completely cool down. It may, just because you have the center of warmth here does not mean that this warmth will just completely disintegrate in the cold waters. No, it does not mean that. So I'm predicting a positive PDO. So that is the second major factor this winter. Now, here is a very, very, very major factor this winter. Well, yeah, hang on a minute. I need to get... Oh, this is so hard to work sometimes. Okay, well, so I'm predicting a negative NAO. I know it's not able to be predicted within a week in advance, but the only signal that you can go off of for a negative NAO, AO, and a Greenland blocking high pressure is a tripole beginning to form, which it is. Every tripole has to start somewhere. Just because you have small areas of cold water does not mean that you will not have a tripole. As the tripole of 2009 and 2010 did, it started up here. It actually started in this region right here. But then it continuously sunk southward and then it developed cold waters in this region. Now, the ENSO region is a very, very important region this winter, which I think it will have zero impact this winter simply because it will possibly be a neutral to very, very, very weak La Nina. I'm just saying it will be a neutral ENSO year. Cold, the cold side of neutral ENSO. Still neutral though. Just on the borderline of La Nina. But my reasoning for this is, the past few months you have seen you have seen very low intensification of this La Nina region. The only area that is able to be classified as a La Nina is this region. Right here, because it is cooler than average, and this region is just slightly cooler than average, if that. Now, focusing on the large scale, adding all these factors that are contributing into our winter is this. This is my conclusion of what will happen this winter. Does this mean it will not change? Does this mean I'm 100% right? Definitely not. I am not 100% right on this. It could change to a strong La Nina, which is a very, very low possibility, maybe 1% chance of that happening. But that percent chance is still there. But what I'm saying is that, looking at the current setup, if you live on the East Coast, you should be expecting a well above average winter, snowfall wise, and slightly below average temperatures. So, as you remember, 2009 and 2010, we did not have bitter cold temperatures. As a matter of fact, it was slightly below average, not well below average. The coldest month was February and January. The coldest months were February and January. Typical winter, but it was 0.5 or 0.4 degrees below normal. That is slightly below normal. Yet you still had 3 major blizzards that winter. Do I think you will have major blizzards this winter? Yes, I believe you will. Now, I'm going to go to my other map. This is kind of turning into a winter forecast, but it's not. So here is the map that I will be using to show you what happened in the winter of 2009 and 2010. Now, what happened was you had a negative PDO, making an area of a low pressure area forming a trough over Alaska. That is usually a signal for a well divided line of cold and warm. But the NAO was so greatly negative that it just kicked the negative PDO out their window. It wasn't a major factor at all. So the NAO's jet stream went like this. This is how it went. Now, that is how the polar jet stream was. Was it brutally cold in this region like it was a few winters ago? No, it wasn't. It was just slightly below average, this region right here. Now, here's the interesting thing though. With a weak El Nino, you have the Pacific jet stream active and the subtropical jet stream active. The subtropical jet stream rode up the eastern seaboard and then curved into due to Greenland blocking. Now, without the Greenland blocking, the subtropical jet stream would just went up and out off the coast. But you had such a negative NAO and a negative AO that it was forced up the coast and then inland, giving the East Coast blockbuster snowstorms, such as the blizzard days before Christmas. That's how it was. Also, the blizzard in January and a blizzard in February. You had 3 major blizzards in each month. You had 1 blizzard each month. Now, do I think this winter will be similar? Yes. I absolutely believe this winter will be similar. The only thing that I believe will be different this winter is the polar jet stream and where the dryness will be located. I'm believing that the polar jet stream will dip down, no, not that down south and up the east coast and then curving in due to the Greenland blocking. Now, I believe that the Pacific jet stream will be the more active of the subtropical jet stream, simply because it is a La Nina year. Neutral ENSO is a very high possibility, but if it's a weak La Nina year, the Pacific jet stream will still be the more active of the two. It will be merging with the polar jet stream, following the exact same path, dipping down south, and then riding up with the negative NAO. Now, here's why I believe that you will have Greenland blocking. I believe that you will be having Greenland blocking this winter because you have a... Oh, here's the map I'm going to do this with. This is a very good example of what is to come right here. This is the map from last week. Now, I'm believing that you will have Greenland blocking simply because you have such above average waters all surrounding Greenland. It's like an attack of the warm waters around Greenland. Now, warm water promotes high pressure. So I'm predicting that you'll have a blocking high pressure over Greenland, which not many models are showing this. I believe no models are showing this. I believe that the models are just showing this type of jet stream flow, giving the entire United States a blowtorch winter. I do not believe that. No, I don't. I believe that you will have a blocking high pressure ridge here and a ridge here, producing the extreme above, down into the Gulf of Mexico, and then up and around, causing blocked off low pressures. Now, here's why I believe that the Nino region will remain as a weak La Nina, because it is surrounded by warm waters. If you had cold here, it would represent a strong to moderate La Nina, which is not looking like a possibility anymore. At the beginning of the year, it definitely was, but this is what's preventing a strong La Nina from forming. The warm blob south of Alaska. Also, it is surrounded by warm waters. Now, the PDO is quite an interesting region, simply because you have a cold band right here, right over this region, north and west of Hawaii. Cold waters north and west of Hawaii promote troughing in the eastern United States. If you have a trough in the eastern United States, jet stream will be dipping down and then up. Down, up, and that. Just like that, because of Greenland blocking. Now, the last factor that I saved to the end of this video is a very short topic to discuss, since I don't have any solar activity maps, but I know what the sun is currently doing. And oh my gosh, it scared me. Well, the sun is very inactive currently. You have 4 sunspots on the sun. Sunspots will either make or destroy this winter. 2009 and 2010 had the perfect setup for a cold and snowy winter, but if the sunspots were high, it would not be as cold as it was, which wasn't very cold after all anyways, because of the positive PDO. I mean, negative PDO, my bad. Now, sunspots are very low. I'm predicting that they will trend up and down throughout the September, October, and November period, but then it will go, in my opinion, my prediction, it will go blank within the next 3 months, December, January, and February. Blank sun promotes cooling of global temperatures, not to ice age, no, not to that cold, but it will promote cool air buildup. Now, this is it. Goodbye, and hope you enjoy.